evidence, and we've said, look, we went to the police yesterday. We went we ended up going to Notting Hill Police Station, and we said, look, here's our film. We're presenting this to you, and we want you to investigate it and come back to us. Find fault in what we're saying. 67 British people died on that day. It was the highest, the largest number of British people dying in a terrorist incident. So we've asked...
And we tend to forget that, don't we? I mean, when people talk about terrorist attacks in this country, we think of what happened with the IRA, and we think of the appalling bombings in the Tube and everything else, but more people, at one single time, more British people died in the Twin Towers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing I would like more than to be wrong. I would love it. If there was, the official story was true.
How has this affected your own career, Tim? I mean, you're a TV producer.
Internationally, I've done quite well out of it. I mean, I would say certainly the likes of the BBC and Channel 4 tend now to treat me with a certain distance. But then, the alternative media is where it's all going on anyway. So, I don't actually look to mainstream television channels.
I mean, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that most broadcasting will be done via the internet in the future.
Well, absolutely, no. That's where it's all going to go on. But I mean, I think Loose Change Final Cut will be seen worldwide on television stations on September the 11th, 2008.
That's what you're working towards.
I'm positive it will be. I mean, certainly it's going to be seen in cinemas around the world before that date. It's online on joiningthedots.tv for people who want to pay for it. But they can see it on Saturday at the Ritzy in Brixton at 12 noon, or on Sunday at the Ritzy in Brixton at 12 noon. And you can get tickets from, from www.picturehouses.co.uk. And it's going to have a pretty much a nationwide release next year.
You're going to be in Cinema City in Norwich on the 10th of December. People can see it then. 3rd of January in Liverpool at Liverpool Fact.
And we've just heard today that Oxford Phoenix Picture House want the film on the 20th of January.
Well, so loads of people are going to get it. And if people want to go and check out your website or have a look at this, they can go to Joining the Dots TV. You can download the movie. It'll cost you £4 to download it. And it's worth, I mean, it's a worry, but it just goes to show that everything is not as it seems. And I think the interesting thing now, Tim, is that it seems to me to be completely not a conspiracy theory when people suggest that maybe there were charges set underneath the Twin Towers. A lot of people, very sensible people, are actually buying into this this situation.
Well, you just have to listen to the 150 witnesses that we've got. You just have to look at the physics, and you have to ask, and then you have to look at the mainstream channels themselves, and what were they actually saying on the day? And they all said it was explosions. All of them.
And you know, the interesting thing, we allowed ourselves to be taken into Iraq, and I, for the life of me, can't see what Iraq had to do with any terrorist attacks. And we don't learn. This is the thing, Tim. We are now being... In America, there's a huge debate at the moment. A lot of people listen to this program online in America as well. And the American people, I don't think, are going to be hoodwinked as easily as they were over Iraq, because the American government are trying to soften them up to go into Iran now.
Absolutely.
And I'm not sure what they think they're going... It can't all be for oil, because, you know, we would buy the oil anyway.
Oh, I mean... Well, they've got I don't know what their reasons for wanting to go into Iran are, but all I would say is I think that there have been mafia institutions who've taken over parts of American society before, and I think a mafia institution has taken over the American government, and the American people have got an opportunity to kick them out at the next election.
Well, the interesting thing is, if you go into American politics, Tim, of course, everybody's saying, well, for goodness sake, let's not get Hillary Clinton in. She'll be worse than George Bush.
Well, there is that danger, I have to say.
So you don't know. Maybe it's a question of the devil you know.
Yes. But the devil I would like to know a little better is I'd like our own mainstream media to be a little more accountable, and I'd like our BBC to be accountable to its licence fee payers.
I don't understand why the BBC haven't shown this. I mean, I would have thought, here you are, you're providing them with content, which is what they need, and I've seen it. It's a properly, professionally put together documentary, and I don't actually understand why are they saying no?
Well, they haven't seen the new cut yet, that has to be said. But, I mean, partly because we caught the BBC advising people that Building 7 had collapsed 20 minutes before it had actually collapsed, which we think is quite remarkable.
Which actually, funnily enough, in the movie you more or less prove, don't you?
Yes. But, I mean, you know, I think at the very top of the BBC there are some very, very worried people.
I would have thought Channel 4 would have lapped this up.
Well, let's see if they run it on September the 11th next year. It's the ideal opportunity. You know, the invitation's there. Certainly if they don't run it, I'm actually fairly sure that Sky Movies would run it.
Well, I think everybody should see it, and I think as many people in America should see it as possible as well. Tim, thank you very much. I think we're going to do the discussion with Dylan Avery again, possibly towards the beginning of December, aren't we?
Yeah, that would be fabulous, yes.
Okay, good.
And we'd love to do it. And the debate between George Monbiot and David Ray Griffin is being touted as the sort of
maybe it should be filmed. That's perhaps what we should do, and then put it on the web.
Why don't we? That's fantastic.
Well, let's do that. Let's do that, because I think it would be good. Although one of the contestants is saying he can't stay up very late. That's the only problem.
Well, maybe we'll pre-record it early.
Well, perhaps we could do that. Thanks very much indeed, Tim.
Take care, James. Have a good night.
Nice to talk to you. Thanks a lot. Sorry about yesterday.
Bye-bye.
Bye.